Okay, I have to start off with the facial hair. What's real and what's not?
None of this is real.
At all.
All of this is, synthetic hair.
What, they've glued it on? Can I touch it, or is that bad? So wait, you had to shave. You had to shave
Yeah,
all
because
of
I
your
had to
facial
play
hair.
a younger part. See, the film's not shot in order. Everything's out of sequence, so I had a young Marcus
A young Marcus.
scene, so I went to shoot me going into the school.
So was it funny shaving all your
It
face?
felt crazy. I look like I'm about 10 years old without this stuff on. I actually had a photo shoot for a cover of Double XL magazine in New York City, and I had to take the stuff with me.
All right, so I was trying to do research about the film, and there's very little out there. So I want to know everything I can possibly know. First of all, what is the actual title of the film? Do we have an official?
The title is Give It to Die Trin.
Yeah.
And it made sense, to me to do it because so many people are aware, associate that title, Give It to Die Trin, with me as an artist, and we talked about it. We went through a ton of titles, like so many different things. It went from Lock and Loaded to Hustler's Ambition to, and there was so many other ideas for it, and then Give It to Die Trying just felt like a simple way to resolve it. Something that I'd be happy with. They know I wouldn't have much of a problem with it, but then when it comes time for the soundtrack, this is my only thing. I felt like this would be Get Rich or Die Trying, the soundtrack, after I already sold Get Rich or Die Trying, so that was cool.
Maybe Get Rich or Die Trying again.
Get Rich or Die Trying 2.
So is this then a movie about your life?
Yeah, it's loosely based. A lot of it is Terry took real scenarios and situations in my life and then fitted it into a scene. It's difficult to put 28 years of your life into 2 hours.
And when you're sort of almost reliving a lot of scenes of your life.
When I got shot again.
Yeah.
It was crazy. I did that part really good. Like after I was shot, I was in the hospital, and I was supposed to be unconscious, and they left me on the table so long that I really fell asleep.
So that's not acting.
Yeah, that was acting on the highest level.
So you got shot again.
Yeah.
Is it odd to go back to that? I mean, what does it feel like? I know you've talked about it a million times.
Yeah,
I'm sure you've relived it in your head.
It's different when you're talking about it, and then when they put the stuff on, it makes it look like it just happened again.
Yeah.
And you're sitting there for hours on the table, like it's almost the operating room process.
Recreate the scene for me then. How did they do it?
They, well, I had to go through regular makeup, then I went through prosthetics, and they put the actual wounds and stuff on you. So it was a long process for that. I was so tired from the days that we worked ahead of that I was dozing off, going to sleep, waking up with new wounds.
Now, did they match the wounds that you already have?
Yeah.
Yeah. And you saw those, so when you woke up from after getting makeup applied and you look down and you see those fresh wounds.
It was definitely not cool.
Yeah.
But we got through that part. That's the hard part for me, I guess.
I mean, a lot of this film is so much based on the stories, and they're not always very pleasant stories.
Yeah.
What's it like to go through that process? I mean, physically again,
Well, it was difficult at that particular point, but other than that, I haven't experienced anything that was been, too much. I probably point that out as the hardest portion of the film.
Yeah. Now, you were speaking of makeup, so did they have to cover
the
scar here?
Well, they tried. We had this thing that you put inside my mouth so it doesn't go in.
So you
see how it kind of goes in? It goes
like
into a little hole.
Uh-huh.
Like there's a hole in my mouth, so it kind of goes into it.
Yeah.
And there's this thing that they put in that kind of replaces the teeth that are missing in my mouth. See, it goes in there when it.
Yeah.
So when they put that in, it doesn't really show much. So.
Oh, so that's how they cover it up.
Yeah.
It's movie magic. All right, so let's talk about this first day. Were you at all nervous? I you've had immense success in every aspect of your life. I mean, you've certainly paid your dues. You know, you're working with, I mean,
I was
you know, these
nervous all over
directors,
again.
you know?
It's brand new for me, and I even after having the 2 weeks time with the entire crew, I still was nervous going into the first day. You know, it's a new experience for me, and I'm excited. I want to do well, you know.
Did you have any doubt that you could do this?
No, I don't doubt it. Just, you know, same nervousness that I feel before I go on stage.
Yeah.
You know, every day when I'm performing, I still get nervous, you know, because I care about the actual performance.
All day I've been sort of walking around and asking everyone, so, you know, what's he like? What's it been like? What's his set been like? And everyone says...
I'm nice.
Yes, that you're nice.
I've been doing that on purpose.
Yeah. When you're not really nice in general. Because people expect you not to be nice.
Yeah.
Right? So you're extra nice.
No, it's easy for me to get what I want. You know, and I don't have to be as aggressive because they already know I'm aggressive.
But the other thing everyone says about you is your immense focus. You know what I mean? Like, it would, you know, you would think that possibly you've got so many things happening right now. This is probably the busiest time of your life.
Yeah.
And yet you come here on set every day, and this is the only thing that you're really focusing on to make sure.
Yeah, well, at the same time when I'm doing this, at the trail I go over there and make my music, and I can hear what the other artists I'm involved with are doing creatively because they MP3 it, they send through the computer, so I can listen to what they've been doing creatively, and then it keeps me within the music loop. Like music is my, you know, it's my thing.
Yeah.
You know, so even if I venture off into acting, you know, because so far it's been a good experience.
Yeah.
I still stay focused. I'll probably be doing the soundtrack to every film I'm involved in.
Yeah. And they probably wouldn't mind that
Yeah.
at all. So now a lot of the kind of creative forces behind Eminem's 8 Mile are also working on your film.
Yeah.
Has there been a lot of collaboration between you and M working?
Well, I communicate with him probably like every 2 or 3 days.
Yeah.
And have conversations, and it's just like a lot of times, like it started out him teasing, like because I didn't know what I was getting ready to do. So he was like, oh man, wait till this starts. Then you're gonna be like, man, I don't want to do this no more. You know, and then after I did it a couple of days, he was like, so you like it? Yeah, he said, no, I was just playing with you. I was just trying to make you nervous. Yeah, he did that on purpose.
You guys have a healthy competition. You said so yourself.
Yeah, well, it's not really competition because when I win, he wins too.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm on Shady.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like it can either way he's winning. When I'm winning, he's winning. When he's winning, he's winning.
Yeah. Any advice that he's given you along the way?
I mean, just see, the nervousness comes from the film actually rolling. See, you can't take back what you do in film.
Yeah.
You know, especially when you got 40 people working on the shot. You know what I mean? Like, it can't be like, oh, let's do that again. You know what I'm saying? Like in the studio, I can say, pull that back. I'm gonna do it again. 'Cause I run the studio. It's just me. Everybody is there. They're gonna be there as long as I want to be there. You know what I mean? And in film, I gotta make sure I give up the best possible performance. As soon as they say action.
So what? You have a big entourage on your
Nah.
first movie set with you?
I didn't want a whole bunch of people out here with me that can get in my way, confuse me on what I'm doing.
So when you're working on a scene, what scene actually are you working on today?
Today's a club scene. It's actually it's a rapper named Dangerous in the film. And I kind of write a diss record that kind of ruins his career. I ain't gonna tell you who that is for real, but everybody knows who that is.
Snuck that in there.
Yeah.
Is it therapeutic to work on sort of getting all your anger out or your frustrations out or your emotions
I mean,
out?
it's cool. Like I like to think that I don't do things for no reason. You know, so I don't kind of regret my actions.
Yeah. There's a lot of pressure I mean, there's always a lot of pressure on you.
Yeah, it's always.
Yeah.
Because, I mean,
But this is a whole different, you know.
this record, I was going into the massacre, I felt like nobody wanted to see me win again. And it made me comfortable because I came from that position to begin with. You know? Like, I'm an underdog spot to begin with. And I felt like an underdog, again, even though I was in a great position financially, because I just said generally people want to see you do bad once they see you do good consistently for a little while. And that's what it is. So I had to kind of use my own energy, focus on making my material. Even the reviews on my record from the publications, they all had something negative to say because they felt like saying something positive about the project would mean
like
with the norm, like everybody else was going to say something positive. So they said negative things. The general public obviously isn't agreeing with them because they're buying a record, outselling everybody.
So 8 Miles did, I think, over, what, $130 million.
Yeah.
What do you think?
That's a good number to shoot at. A little more.
141.
Yeah. Try to do a little more. You said he did 130?
Yeah, it's over 130.
Wow. It's great. I like to do that.
I think a lot of people, when 8 Miles first came out, they were like, oh, this...
They didn't think it was going to be.
What is this, a joke?
Yeah.
You know?
And then they went...
You ready for that? You ready for people being like, 50 Cent is not an actor. He should not...
Until they actually see the film, and then they're going to go, 50 Cent is great. Whew.
You always wanted to act?
Not all the time.
When did the acting bug first hit you?
Well, when the opportunities came. You know.
So you were one of those kids like reciting lines from like your favorite movie.
Yeah, I always did that. And in the mirror, you say the line from the film. I watch some films over and over and over until I know them.
Like what?
Like Goodfellas, Heat.
Give me a line from Goodfellas.
Oh man, it's a million of them. You think I'm a joke? Think I'm here to amuse you? Joe Pesci. Think I'm Mr. Sheridan right there. Think I'm Mr. Sheridan right there. He trying to hide from the camera.
You should hear what he's saying about you.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I was telling
Awful
you.
things.
Where are you from?
We're from MTV.
Oh my God. What am I doing on MTV? I'm too old to be
No,
on
you're
MTV.
supposed to be on MTV.
Yo, hey, Shug.
It's your birthday. It's your birthday.
That's who we are.
So you have a 50 Cent album. You have all his albums now?
Yeah, I'm only about 15 in my head. I'm
Yeah?
about 50. Huh?
You know all of my music.
Yeah, I know it all.
He says you're surprised that you know him so well.
Of course I do. Well, I don't know. I know it's not well.
But you get it, huh? How's he doing? He's the
Brilliant.
first time
It's
actor.
good fun. Yeah, great fun.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think so. I think so.
You think it's
He's directing it and I'm acting it. Isn't that right, 50?
Yep.
He's calling the shots.
Well, no, it's kind of like we're messing around and getting it right, aren't we?
Yeah.
There's no boundaries, there much. You know?
Yeah.
It's just happening, it's real.
The
Yeah.
real deal.
It's gonna be scary.
Oh yeah.
It's gonna be wild. It's gonna be wild, isn't it?
That he can guarantee.
I hope we're getting the music together.
Yeah.
That's hard because he has to write the music like in character, so it's kind of been hard because like 50 Cent was a good rapper and now he's had to kind of find how good Marcus is. That's kind of the thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
But you get there. I've no doubt about the music. 50's
Oh,
just
baby.
a spring. Oh my God, good looker,
Oh,
50.
baby.
Is that going to make it in the movie? You may. You may want to take note. You practicing for your love scenes.
Yeah.
So anything that
Try that guy
you're
right
giving him tips on? That'd probably get him in some trouble. You're trying to get him in trouble. You know the press is watching. They're ready.
there. You know.
So any tips for 50 so far?
No.
No?
To what? To do what? Acting?
Acting wise.
Just be. No, not really. He doesn't need tips.
Yeah.
I mean, other fellas think, are saying, why am I working with 50? Some actor said that, I can't remember who it was. But I hope they find out why I'm working with him.
Yeah.
So what is this? You're traveling.
Yeah, this is like
Music
my
studio?
traveling music studio, so I get a chance to take y'all in there and show y'all how I'm gonna record the soundtrack to this film. You know, I did this before. I actually recorded Bay for Mercy on the Rock the Mic tour. So I traveled the entire tour, and when I came out, but that was like a tour bus that had a recording studio on the back. This is a little more advanced than that.
A little more.
So, yeah,
So
I
in
did-
between, actually all day you film, and you're working all day, and then you come here to actually work on the soundtrack.
Like right now it's lunch, so I would be going back here.
No time for eating or sleeping or.
Regular people eat and sleep.
Okay. So who is Marcus then? What is his character like?
Oh man, Marcus. He had similar experiences to me. He lost his mother at a young age. He has a childhood girlfriend. Comes back into his life as he gets older. That's different from me. She actually becomes his baby mother, and he likes her. It's different between me and Marcus. His crew, like the way that we have a crew in the film, there's a little more structure than it actually is in the neighborhood. The environment that I come from, there's not much structure. You know how you write stories like, you know how you watch The Sopranos or you watch Goodfellas, how they have like bosses that regulate what goes on?
Yeah.
Ain't much of that in the neighborhood. You got people that have more influence than others, and they have crews, but outside of that crew, they have no influence.
And he's gone through a lot of similar experiences we were talking about, even with the, especially the scene with the shooting.
Yeah. The shootings, and certain things that tie back into the major things that stood out to Terry about my life story he created for the character. Yeah.
Anything in there, in the film, that we don't necessarily know that you had gone through, that you contributed? You know what I mean? Your story is sort of, it's been told so many times, but there's something small that you're like...
There's a lot of things in there that's
what?
different.
Yeah.
You know? A lot of things I don't talk about because it could get me in trouble.
Oh, I'm not going to
Yeah, I spoke to her about, and you ain't gonna do nothing to me with the law enforcement to come around.
You were looking at me for a second. I was like, I'm not doing anything.
Nah, you know, but
Right.
there's things that I discussed with Terry that he was able to take and turn it into something different.
Yeah. Eminem put out 2 albums. He did a movie, just a soundtrack that worked really well. Was this a calculated thing? You have 2 albums out. Now you're doing a movie. Now you're doing a soundtrack.
It was pretty calculated.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, and then the record, but you got to make hits at the same time. So it's like, while you got this has been in progress for a long time, a lot longer than the general public would understand. Probably 8 months ahead of, you know, just developing the screenplay. Yeah. So while the script is being developed and all that, I'm still working on my first album that's a success. And then I got to recreate a whole nother successful record in order to be in the position that I'm in now. And then I did it.
But that's hard to have that kind of foresight.
Yeah, but
Isn't
you got to be able to do it anyway. You know, Jam Master Jay taught me something a while back. I used to think he was just teasing at me because I'd make a record and then I'd listen to it over and over and I'd be like, it's hot. Like, when I felt like I had something that was hot, I'd stay playing it over and over. Yeah. And he'd be like, yo, man, if it's what you think it is, like, I think it's hot. But if it is hot, guess what? I'm like, what? He said, you're going to need another one. Then another one. Then another one. So since he said that to me, like, that was a while back, too. I don't get too attached to the material. I'll make it, it'll be hot, I know it's good, and then move to the next thing. Because I need something to follow it consistently.
Well, then do you have time to enjoy your success, or you're too busy?
Oh, man, I'll get a chance to enjoy everything that I'm, all the benefits after things slow down and I actually creatively feel exhausted. You know, I've heard Jay-Z say on some records, what more can I say? Like, he feels like it's nothing else for him to say, and then he feels the retirement thing and all that. You know, maybe when I reach that point, like, but he's done a lot of records. He's recorded a lot of records, so this is just my second album, you know.
So what do you think? You're going to win an Oscar?
Well, I think anything's possible. I think I want a trophy.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'll get a trophy.
A little Academy Award.
If they don't give, it don't matter which one. They probably give it to me for best song in the film.
That'd be nice.
Yeah. See this right here? You see it said The Club right here. I put that there because In the Club is the record that made everything pop off of me. You getting this? Are you getting this?
I'm getting it.
Okay, right. This right here says The Club right here. I put that there for short for In the Club. That's the joint that made all of this stuff possible. I'm gonna show you this booth.
Can I go in?
Look, bam, it's a soundproof booth, and that's how it looks when you're in there. See, she in there.
What is this?
Now you gotta pick up your headphones and sing, and no matter what it sounds like, we're gonna put it through a machine and make it hot.
Sorry, I think that
As long as you can dance,
now I know what it feels like.
we'll make it hot.
Wait, what is this? Is this
I'll be
lyrics
right
from that?
Yeah, that's from Dangerous.
Oh, okay.
Dangerous lyrics
All right.
in the movie.
Oh, you wrote it.
No, Craig
Okay.
G actually wrote that.
Okay.
See, it says
This is great.
lyrics by Craig G.
Yeah. This is
Oh,
you?
but this is, yeah.
Is that your
Spanish.
writing?
Yes, please do not show this.
Is that your penmanship?
We put that over there, hide that.
See, he is in control. You know, you play the I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, whatever.
Okay. Mr. Nice Guy. No. All right. Well, thank you for the tour. I
Yeah,
appreciate it. I
let's
know
show it.
that this isn't every day you get to show people your
What's
home.
going on, right?
Yeah.
This is where I live in here.
Yeah.
Trailer. Next door, look at this. Look what I got here. Bam.
What is
Got
that?
clothes I got. I was so tired I left my clothes.
Is that yours?
Last time I was here. Yeah. See that? Say J-Unit. Heavyweight. raw
That's
material.
nice. Is that from your from the line?
Yeah, from G
Nice.
Club.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome. We went through a ton of titles, like so many different things. It went from Lock and Loaded to Hustler's Ambition to, you know, and there was so many other ideas for it, and then Give It to Die Trin just felt like a simple way to resolve it. You know, something that I'd be happy with. They knew I wouldn't have much of a problem with it. But then when it comes time for the soundtrack, this is my only thing. I felt like this would be Get Rich or Die Trying, the soundtrack, after I already saw Get Rich or Die Trying, so that was cool.
Maybe Get Rich or Die Trying again.
Get Rich or Die Trying 2.
So is this then a movie about your life?
Yeah, it's, you know, it's loosely based. A lot of it is Terry took real scenarios and situations in my life and then fitted it into a scene. It's difficult to put, you know, 28 years of your life into 2 hours.
And when you're sort of almost reliving a lot of scenes of your life.
You know, when I got shot again,
Yeah.
you know, it was crazy. I did that part really good. Like after I was shot, I was on this other one. I actually had a photo shoot for a cover of Double XL magazine in New York City, and I had to take the stuff with me.
All right, so I was trying to do research about the film, and there's very little out there. So I want to know everything I can possibly know. First of all, what is the actual title of the film? Do we have an official?
The title is Give It to Die Trying.
Yeah.
You know, and it made sense, you know, to me to do it because so many people are aware, associate that title, Give It to Die Trying, with me as an artist, and we talked about it.
Okay, I have to start off with the facial hair. What's real and what's not?
None of this is real.
At all.
All of this is, you know, synthetic hair.
What, they've glued it on? Can I touch it, or is that bad? So wait, you had to shave. You had to shave
Yeah,
all of
because I
your
had to
facial
play
hair.
a younger part. See, the film's not shot in order. Everything's out of sequence, so I had a young Marcus
A young Marcus.
scene, you know, so I went to shoot me going into the school.
So was it funny shaving all your
It
face?
felt crazy. I look like I'm about 10 years old in the hospital, and I was supposed to be unconscious, and they left me on the table so long that I really fell asleep.
So that's not acting.
Yeah, that was acting on the highest level.
So you got shot again.
Yeah.
Is it odd to go back to that? I mean, what does it feel like? I know you've talked about it a million times.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
sure
different.
you've
It's
relived it in
different
your
when you're
head.
talking about it, and then when they put the stuff on, it makes it look like it just happened again.
Yeah.
You know, and you're sitting there for hours on the table,